It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show.
Season's greetings. God bless you to each of you. Welcome to the JaeTae Show. All right, y'all. We are excited to be back and preparing for this next episode. It's the 13th episode. As we getting up there, I am getting excited. And that also means that we are getting further along in our study of the book Crushing. We are I think we're coming up on chapter 6 now, and we should be getting very close to chapter 7, but we also will be sharing some things from our heart as we consider how this book is impacting our lives as we are moving forward in this season. So right now, if you will, please like and share. If you would like to join us in the Zoom room, it is 357-812-3578. All right. And you know what? I did this wrong. I got on the JaeTae Show page, but I should have stayed on the J Bass page and looked at the JaeTae page without getting on it, or without signing in, as it shall say. Okay, there we go. Oh, you beat me, JaeTae. Jeez.
Took me a minute to figure out where it was. I was looking on your page, but
wow.
Welcome back, JaeTae.
That's okay. You did better than me, so I'm still posting.
That's okay. I was looking down the whole time you was talking. Good evening, everyone. Hope that you all are having a fantastic day. Pray that you all had a fantastic weekend. And I pray that y'all have gotten your books by now and caught us at least to chapter 6.
Where's Bishop?
Oh, Bishop, welcome back. Bishop is here today. Bishop.
Okay, he did take over. Okay. All right. Bishop. All right. He's in the building.
Welcome back, Bishop.
All right.
It's been a few weeks, but Bishop is back, y'all. We had taken a little break and did other things on the JaeTae Show. If you've watched it, then you know we've talked about the past week. If you haven't watched it, you have no idea we haven't been talking about Christian. Shame on you.
Well.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining in on YouTube. On Facebook, if you'd like to join us on the JaeTae Show live, you can log into Zoom at 357-812.
3578.
Thank you.
Got your back. And if you want to converse with us, we can add you in and we can talk about crushing. We can hear stories about what you're going through as far as being crushed. And so let's get into the book, because there are some things that I am sure that will tie us into sharing where we are in our journey being crushed. I will start off by saying that as we get into the book, I definitely know some areas that I want to talk about, but I was thinking about for JaeTae yesterday. Was that yesterday you let me listen to your video that you were thinking about posting from the conference? Or did you post it?
No, I didn't. You told me not to, so I did not.
Okay. All right. So, it's just something to a lot of what we experienced leading up to the conference. As we were reading this book, Crushing, we even saw the word shattered in the book multiple times. And so that was an insinuation that something was coming. And I think I made alluded to that. And it was more so JaeTae, but it's something when you step out on God's will and you do what it is that he's put on your heart to do, and you are crushed. And so we definitely want to dive into that today. And really, I think this will be your place to kind of say some of the things that you wanted to say, but hopefully you can, prayerfully, truly prayerfully, JaeTae.
Truly prayerfully.
Yeah. Okay. Crowning from 88. Crowning from the crushing. What you buried still has purpose. Its appearance is quite different from how you last saw it, but it still has purpose. Well, okay, it's 89 actually. So I knew we stopped at this heading. You have anything?
Really hate for you to repeat what you just said.
What you buried still has purpose. Its appearance is quite different from how you last saw it, but yet it still has purpose.
I don't have anything, so we actually have the same thing highlighted there. So,
oh, well, his death was for every part of you that you had given up on. Oh, I thought that was so powerful. Think of the things that we have given up on that we don't believe there's any hope for anymore, that God is the God of the impossible, that he can do it. That which you have buried is crowning. I love that. All right, on page 90. Is the dawning of a new you being pushed through the veil of Christ's suffering and death to something far more joyous and grand. Okay, and so the whole sentence, because honestly, I can't just say that. It says the quaking you are feeling is the dawning of a new you being pushed through the veil of Christ's suffering and death to something far more joyous and grand.
But before that says this is not a repeat of your darkest days. Because we often sometimes go through things and we think, oh, we felt this before, so we know how this go in, and we just give up without even going forth and seeing how the end will be.
Wow. That is something.
Yeah.
You know, even as we read that, what I keep thinking is that is this knowledge. That's what reading this book is causing me to see as a benefit, because it's statements like that that cause us to look at what we're dealing with in a different way. I think I've said this in previous broadcasts as we read this book, but I keep coming back to it, and that's the powerful thing, is knowing that Bishop has put into this book word from God that gives us the hope and the expectancy that, okay, yeah, you're going through something, but what you're going through is not for nothing. It has a purpose, and what's coming with it or behind it is something greater. He said, this cut off existence that the vintner has so endeavored to save us from in order to show us who we really are. It's this cut off existence that when you're planted, that God wants to show us who we really are, that there's more in us that God can use. And I was praying, I don't know if that was on the way today or yesterday, but it's definitely been recently, that God, there's more that you can use me to do. And there's more to me than what I'm even seeing and what the world has privy to right now. And so, God, whatever it takes to get there. And sometimes, I keep thinking about how JaeTae responded at the thought of more crushing, that we have more crushing to come, because especially when you have already been through so much crushing, and it seems like, God, how much more can I take? But at the end of the day, we know that crushing is a part of our life. Being pruned is part of our lives. And if that's what it takes for us to grow and to mature, it's almost crazy to say, well, Lord, bring it on. But at the same time, God, if that's going to bring me to being who you want me to be and you have purpose for me to be, well, Lord, bring it on. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm sure that just as even in recent weeks, I've had depressing moments and things that were trying to overtake me, and even to the point of suicidal thoughts. But coming back again is the thought that I know something greater is behind it. So even in those moments, I decided, even though I don't have Minister Adams here, I do have somebody who understands that we're going through this book crushing together. We're in some ways being crushed together. And so, okay, I reached out to JaeTae, and I, instead of what I probably would have complained about or moaned and all of that, I admitted that this is how I'm feeling. But also, in spite of what I'm feeling, I know that I'm being crushed and that this won't last always. This too shall pass. And so my next one was a human life that never matured into something greater than its original form. Those are full sentences that I'm pulling stuff out of, but just the thought of a human life that never matured into something greater than its original form. You're still a babe. You never learned, you never grew. No. And it goes on to say it's as if the fruit never existed. You know what that made me think about was you know how you go to like whatever kind of tree that bears fruit, and you see the fruit laying under the tree on the ground, wasted. And that brings me to the thought of a crushing that just happened yesterday. We did a fundraiser for our church, and I love things that call for teamwork. I love teamwork. I love the assembly lines. I love the prep, all of that. Even though it can be strenuous at times and you working with different attitudes and different ways of doing things, I just love the camaraderie and the teamwork. And so it brings me to try to, humble myself and to do, what needs to be done. But I was thinking about the thing that crushed me was JaeTae warned us multiple times that the refrigerator at the church was in somewhere it's basically not working because either it would not get things cold or it would get things too cold. And so we kept getting from another choir member that the refrigerator's fine. And so we should have listened to the first word that we received, which was it does go back and forth. I was hoping that this time maybe it will freeze, and because we can still thaw it out, that was the plan to do. So we cooked it. Some of the pans, like maybe two or three pans. Yeah, 3 pans. Thursday night in preparation for Friday because I had dialysis and then a funeral and wasn't going to be able to cook it Friday morning as originally planned. And so we left one of those pans at the church. They get to the church Friday morning and they smell what smells like something has gone awry. Well, it was cold, but it had not frozen, and the cheese of it had gone through the building. And so, in other words, the end result that I felt crushed was we put all that time and that effort, all the noodles, all the sauce, all the 3 meats that goes into JaeTae spaghetti, all the cutting up of the onions, bell peppers, all 4 colors of bell peppers, all of that goes into it. And to have a whole pan, the thing was, I'd gotten like 18 big pans, but these big pans, we measured out the meat. I thought that, it would fill up the 1 pan, but we need to put in 2 of what I'd measured out to make a full one of these big pans. So that was a lot of wasted. I don't how many plates were you able to fix of spaghetti from 1 pan? At least 10, huh?
At least 10, because Jay wanted us to pile.
I want you to stack them plates up. That's right. Yeah. But I've gotten so many good reports, but there's always going to be something.
Yeah.
And that was the something that a pan, thank God that everybody that pre-ordered got their orders, and we were still able to sell a lot of dinners Friday night at the musical. But it's just a fact of wasting. I hate wasting. That's something we talk about here at the house, that food that we have left over that goes uneaten. And I may eat on it 2 or 3 days, but because I cook so much that it's still some that ends up being wasted. I just hate wasted food. And so to have a whole pan wasted, that was a crushing. And it just, it's as if I'm able to get back to the book. It's as if that pan never existed. All that work we put in.
But it made me think about the conference.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why I was thinking like
all the work you put in. Yes.
To hear a person say they don't want to sing the songs the day of, or I may not come for this if for this is a crushing moment. It's like all the hours spent planning and preparing.
The money paid.
Money paid, buying the tracks. Even if it was 99 cents, like that was still wasted.
Because it took time and effort to do that.
But I try to. I have a new thing. When there's a crushing moment, there's a non-crushing moment. If that even makes sense, there has to be a pro and a con to everything.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, go on,
I'm thinking about when you said the fruit that falls off the tree. To us, it's no good. But to the ants.
Oh, girl, come on, girl. Yeah. Somebody can use it.
Right.
Okay,
so
good.
See it we always hear
homeless person going through the trash. Right. Oh my gosh.
What's one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Come on, JaeTae.
I was thinking
I'm seeing you better come on. Well, you did it. Go on, girl. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Even the food that we waste here, I could easily give that food to the girl. I don't want to say her name on here, but the one that's by Walmart that I give food to. Now I try to take her like tuna and stuff because it's easier, but if it's cooked, then she can just warm it up. So I need to start considering that.
And now we have plenty of to-go plates.
Bad stuff, y'all. It's just how do you?
We moved on.
It's just.
Yeah, because after especially, and then the problem I think for a lot of the stuff is the things that I cook that can last, or I say we because you do cook some. But anyway, the things that's right that you do that we cook that last, I'm not supposed to have that much of. And so, I may eat on it 2 or 3 days, but, after that, then I need to kind of pull back because I made myself sick the last time oh my gosh, my spaghetti goulash was so good with that garlic toast. Oh, thank you for bringing me back. I know, thank you, girl, because I was gone. I was gone. Oh my gosh, every day. 2 or 3 times a day. Okay,
Even when. Okay, no, I'll say that to the next chapter.
No, come on. No.
Come on, just keep going.
Oh, God. You better remember it too.
Because I remember it in the book where I highlighted.
Oh, okay. You always choose how you will respond. You don't choose the painful events that disrupt your life, but you always choose how you will respond. And that just coincides with what we just talked about because, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a point that you were ready to just cancel the whole conference, right? Oh,
2:00.
The day of. Oh, yeah. But that was, what? And I'm just thinking because what led me to that thought was the fact that I thought about canceling the fundraiser. Because of things that were going on, I'm just like, you know what, we don't have to deal with this. And then I'm already not going to be able to really be there and oversee. And I'm telling you, that was a challenge for me because there is a certain way I operate in the kitchen. And that's why, now, JaeTae has been my sous chef. So she knows that there are certain ways I like things done. And she does not come back at me with that. She just comes on and we do what we got to do. And it's, it's honestly the same. I mean, I'm hardly ever her sous chef. She just does what she does because she doesn't cook maybe a big thing, but it's the same, the same instance. And so I had to humble myself and say, okay, in order to allow this process to move on, especially having to cook so much, I'll just step back and, allow things that I normally would not accept in a kitchen where I'm the lead chef cooking my dish. To happen. And so I stepped back and then to have things happen, it's like, okay, I can't let that happen again.
No,
and so
I see it that way.
Oh,
I see it that God
you better come on and say something.
It's the way I see it of we need each other.
We do. I do agree with that.
Although it's JaeTae spaghetti, you have to be able to delegate and help me out. And
well, that's what I did. I did tell her.
Yeah, but you feel bad and you feel like you wanted to cancel. But I feel like God allowed certain things to happen for a certain reason. You was taught in that area, whatever lesson you got of it, and then God allowed things to happen so that we can know moving forward, this how it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So it still needed to happen, whether we wanted to or not. Same thing with the conference. Whether I wanted it to be canceled, I was over it, but God still needed it to happen.
Yeah,
because look at all the people that came back with the good reports of the spaghetti dinner. They didn't see the behind the scenes. They didn't experience the fullness, but the reports that we got was phenomenal. I don't think we got
from both.
From both.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to go through the crushing part of it to get to the wine.
Yeah. And that's another thing, just thinking about it too, because it is a growing thing as we host. I was telling Shantae, and it's just as I probably shouldn't even say it on here, but I am gonna say it. Yeah, I'm still gonna say it. That just the kind of excellence, I'll just say that excellence that she puts into the conference, the intense thought, the dedication, the commitment that she exudes as a true laborer of Christ, that she is faithful to it. She is committed. She is dedicated when she puts on a conference. And that's why I think even the conferences that I've been able to host have been so successful, because I had Shantae right there helping to iron out some of the details. And y'all need to stay tuned for this next upcoming conference. We're not going to really tell y'all about it yet, but it's going to combine Shattered Conference and the Cost of a Yes Conference. And y'all just need to stay tuned. We have a J Bass Ministries meeting right after this. If you want to join the J Bass Ministries team, we have open door. The extension is here, but just know that we're going to work. It's not just about what J Bass is doing. Shattered was on the J Bass Ministries agenda, and we ironed out some things, and I was able to help her get some things done. So we have some things to do. And so it's all about us all coming together to help one another. But, it just the thought of what she put into that conference, I can see her being called by someone like Sarah Jakes, who is working with the new Woman Evolve, which was Woman Thou Art Loose, that it's evolving. And Shantae is evolving. And we don't know, as God is using her to do this, where she will be. But And I'm saying this, I'm using her as my example, but I know this is the same for me, because we see how we feel now with being crushed through these smaller events. But the word of God tells us not to despise small beginnings. And so this may be a small conference now. This may be a small spaghetti fundraiser right now. But this may be a small music ministry. Yeah. They all may be small. The things that we're doing may be small in the sight of us and others right now. But look how distorted the view of the Israelites that went out, the spies that went into the promised land, to spy out the land. They saw the people as giants and bigger than them, but they didn't recognize that God was with them and would have given them the victory had they gone on with it. And so if we just continue to go on now, in spite of the things, I'm just getting off Shantae, so I'm stirred up. So anyway, you better go on and say what you need to say. Because we may not make it to it. That's what I'm saying. Because one of my biggest things is always the financial aspect. I want to see the finances in place to be able to do it. But what I recognize is God is the God of all. Everything in this earth belongs to him. And I think I may have said this on the J Bass Today show, but it belongs to him. And so if he has ordained the conference, if he has ordained the J Bass songbook, which he gave me the music, he gave you the conference, he put T-Lock on my heart, that we are not just a singing ministry, but this is who we are. We are true laborers. We're faithful, dedicated, committed workers who acknowledge that we belong to Christ. This is who we are. This is what is in us, and this is what we are to do. And so if he has given us this vision, if he has given us this purpose, it's his to fund. Yeah. He has put the money and the resources in this earth to fund the vision. And so all we have to do is trust him to bring it to pass. He has somebody in the earth who will see this JaeTae show later, who has the funds to say, okay, let me see how I can connect to these two people, because they just not going to stop. They're at 13 episodes, and I see their views on YouTube are not that great, but they continue on anyway. I see they continue to move forward with the things that God is putting on their heart. So let me see how I can help and bless them, because I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, and I want to help them get their get whatever it is they saying God is using them to do done.
As we do our part down here, God is doing his part up there.
He's doing his part.
He's doing it.
But he's doing his part down here too.
Yeah, but I'm saying we have to do our part. You know, we are remaining faithful. We're doing
and to be obedient. That's it.
And if God, he's seeing us, and he will reward our sacrifice. He will reward us for continuing on. You know, I was looking at my screen. I don't know what you can see, but I'm seeing people on and on and on. All these people have joined in, and it says 3 people watching, but it shows me like 12 people have joined in and clicked out.
I can't. I wasn't looking, so I'm
because my screen is my phone is on my computer screen. So
okay.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, we're remaining faithful, and
in spite of, don't need the viewers on right now because we know they're coming back to watch later.
She always comes back and tells me like a report of the JaeTae show. You know, and without saying like a report of the JaeTae. Like, I know that she needs it. You know what I'm saying? If it just reaches 1, then our labor is not in vain. Our work is not in vain. You know, even for us, we get on here and get stirred up. You know, you know, we need it.
That's so right.
You just never know.
Never know who needs it. And that, you know, that is so true. And I've said it before, and that's, you know, I believe God is going to honor that as well, that we don't care if there's the crowd watching. If one person is being impacted by us taking this time to share, we're not, and the thing is, we're not just sharing just mess and worldly conversation. Even when we share things about what we're doing, it has the undertone that we are trusting in God to do these things, that God is our source, that God is our message. He is the reason that this show exists. Okay, so, okay. The next thing I had on page 91 is choose what you will do with your crushing. When we come on here and we share our testimony about what God has taught us through that crushing, or, you know, how we overcame or came through it, even though there were moments we wanted to give up and throw in the towel and got frustrated, that we made a choice. And so thank God for this study, because it is causing us to make a different decision in how we deal with our crushing. Yeah,
Bishop say you either gonna celebrate or you're gonna continue to suffer.
Oh,
The choice is yours.
He says, choose to enter into the tension between celebrating and suffering that crushing requires. The choice is yours. The tension between celebrating and suffering. It's like it's at odds. You know, I'm
continuing on with your stuff, even though this continuing on with the labor of Christ.
In spite of this.
All that stuff.
It made me think back. Because the conference and all these other things are what's fresh for us. They're going to continue to be brought up, so get used to it. But I'm just thinking, you know, the tension of wanting to give up on what we're doing versus who is being blessed by it. You know that people are being blessed by their J-Bass spaghetti because you tasted it. And when you tasted it, your mouth got set for some more. Oh.
Chicken one or a veggie or one that I can eat. So I cannot testify. So I'm not gonna shake my head on this comment. Normally I'm over here for the amen corner. Not this time. So go right on the head. But you can put turkey sausage in there, turkey meat in there. It's the same stuff. But no, that hasn't happened. So no, I'm not gonna even go no and testify about your spaghetti.
I'm gonna say that you did go to the store and buy $100 worth of stuff yourself. And if you had wanted some, But if you had wanted some, and you could have even made a suggestion for a separate pan for those who don't eat beef.
I don't know if it'll be JaeTae spaghetti next.
Oh,
but next time we do JaeTae spaghetti,
oh,
we'll have 2 options. We'll
okay.
do it, and we'll.
In fact, the next time we do it, we may have 3 options. But I'm saying, because you suggested to do the chicken spaghetti, but y'all JaeTae chicken spaghetti, just so y'all know that. But okay, even with the thought of, oh, I'm telling you now, because this is for the next JaeTae Ministries meeting for tonight, that I'm doing a JaeTae spaghetti again for JaeTae Ministries for our fundraiser. Okay, because there's been too many people that's been given a good report, and just like you don't want the conference to delay too long, I don't want JaeTae spaghetti to delay. Yeah, I want them to, because I have a post going right now. If you're on my Facebook page and you're my friend, if you had some of the JaeTae spaghetti, especially those of you who have tasted it before and know of the goodness, and you had to make sure you got your order in this time, y'all need to come on the post and give me some comments so that I have some testimonials moving forward, so that when we do it for JaeTae Ministries, it can be even better. Okay, thank you. Of course. Yeah, thank y'all so much. So you're gonna save yours? We got to do that, because it is of the utmost importance that we are able to be reminded, not only to save it so that other people can see what others had to say, but at the same time that we can be reminded that as low as we were with the suffering, that there was a reason to celebrate, because somebody was blessed.
You know what? Just a little bit off topic. But it made me think about, today I went to Taco Bell, okay? And I went to Taco Bell, and those of you know I do not eat beef, okay? And I got a order, it's a nacho, but I don't get beef on it. I get just cheese and sour cream. That's just all I eat. So the lady came to the window, and I placed the order, and the girl came to the window 4 times. Do you want beans? Do you want rice? Do you want this? Do you want to substitute this? And I'm like, no, just, and she said, well, we still have to charge you for it. Sweetie, don't put it on there, and the other lady was just so nice and sweet. I'm listening to the lady on the other side of me making a complaint about a worker.
Uh-oh.
And I was thinking, we hear so much bad, but the lady that was taking care of me was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I actually made not a complaint, but what do you call it?
Compliment?
A compliment to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking about with the obstacles that we face.
Mm-hmm. There's always opposite sides of it. Mm-hmm.
We are quick to dot the bad, but we don't praise the good enough. I think about, like, even if we go to somewhere and you get customer service, customer service. Always says in the window, when I went and he's ordering, thank you so much for that greeting, or I'm so glad to be here. Mm-hmm. You never know how that would make that person feel, because they hear so much negativity.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to weigh the good with the bad. I just keep saying, you got to
that's
something
part of life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that have we talked about that this is the wisdom to be able to balance it. Okay, it definitely takes the wisdom. It takes wisdom to be able to balance, and that's why even in that very thought, I don't know how people that do not believe in God can operate, not trusting him to be able to help us balance that, because sometimes it is a chore. Oh my gosh. And I think Bishop has alluded to it in the book in the past, but I know he's definitely preached about it. The fact of blessings coming along with the burdens. And you want these blessings on blessings, but what about the burdens on burdens that come with the blessings on blessings? Because the burdens will get on your last nerve. And I'm starting to hear more and more preachers saying about how they just want to go off or do this, that, and the other, because while you're looking at them as a pastor and you're seeing, you're hearing their amen corners on their services online and things, or you join the service in person, and you see the people all up and going through, and you see them on this elevated platform, and they may be driving a nice car, but you don't know what the nice car is costing them. You don't know the trolls that they're dealing with in their comments. You don't know the people that's trying to get them out of the church. It's a lot of hell that comes with being in a high position. And so we don't see the blessing. I mean, a lot of times we see the blessings, but we don't see the burdens. It's just like the same thing. You know you see my glory, but you don't know my story. Oh, JaeTae, I was trying to shut up because I was sure that you was like a horse coming out of the gate.
No.
Or ready to come out. Okay. Well, y'all, we have made it to chapter 6. I don't know how long. Did it show? Okay, we only had 30 minutes. Okay, we got some time. All right, we are at chapter 6, the price of crushing. Oh, Lord Jesus, I'm just not even in the mood to think about the price, but it's part of it because it's the cost of a yes. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. That's by Helen Keller. As part of her quote that Bishop uses. My personal history immediately flooded my mind. He was talking about God choosing him to preach. And he thought about his personal history immediately flooding his mind. And it's just something how, especially when God is calling you to do something, that it seems like in your eyesight, your personal history should disqualify you from being used by God. And I've definitely experienced that. And so when
oh God. Yeah. Uh-huh. Go ahead. It made me think about that.
I'm sure it did. So you can't just laugh out like that in the middle of a show and not.
Oh Lord. Okay, go ahead.
JaeTae.
I know. Go ahead.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay, y'all. It's something when your personal history begins to flood your mind because we think it should disqualify us. Even I'm thinking, I can't remember, is it Gideon? Anyway, who was the least of his own tribe and start naming off reasons why God shouldn't be choosing him, But God knows why he chooses us to do the things that we are here to do. He says, someone who has such a scuffed and scarred history. Ooh, we.
Was the people that miss out on their blessings looking at the person
because of their history.
Right. And you don't realize how I thought about two things. I thought about Sharon, I thought about JaeTae Ministries. If people would take away the face and see the vision, then how many people would be helped? I thought about,
because if somebody else was doing it,
shattered all the good that I heard. If somebody else face was on there, or someone else planning it, it would have been more people. People look at the person and not the heart, and you miss your blessing. And I actually,
girl, that's good.
Made me thought about,
and I can't believe you was gonna make us miss that. Okay.
Said in the video that you didn't hear.
Oh, okay.
I thought about when I thought about the puzzle that we're all in this together, and you saw the puzzle when you put it together. It's all these different hands, like in one teamwork, and black, white, all these different colors. But if that person wouldn't have came because of that person arm, it would have been able to work. If we stop looking at
color,
what you did, how you did it, what you heard, and actually see what God has called to come forth, how much more things would be greater right now.
Wow.
I said this in the last JaeTae show. Instead of putting something into a ministry, you putting something into a ministry, and we can come together and how it would evolve into something bigger. if we could just come together.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't.
Everybody got their own thing.
Don't. That is a sad part, is that we can't put our flesh aside to work and do what needs to be done.
And that's why my prayer is, and the vision of JaeTae Ministries is to be inclusive. That y'all, we all have our own thing that God has called us to, but we can also work together. That's why I love like associations or those kind of things, like the BMA ministers thing. I do love the idea of that, because all these different pastors coming together, all these different churches coming together. We need things like that because we need one another, and there are benefits that you cannot get just by yourself. There are resources that are available when we are together.
Testimonies that you need to hear.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But you don't know that if you're an island and you're all by yourself. God's plan often thrives in the lives of those who don't seem fit for the calling. And look how God's plan is thriving in our life, in spite of who is and is not supporting us. Isn't that something? I didn't come close to throwing in the he wouldn't be lying if he told you that he didn't come close to throwing in the towel on numerous occasions. I would have continued running, and the magnitude of our destinies often confounds our current immaturity. I thought that was powerful. We have no clue. We have no clue who we will be. And a lot of times, what we see now, what we're seeing now in our lives, we see the fact that well, it's a word I'm trying to say. I dispelled that thought that the enemy tried to lie to me with, that I don't have support, that people don't support me. That is a lie from the pits of hell. But the truth is, I felt like that. In that current immaturity, I was looking at it and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing exactly what the enemy is saying. What you're trying to do is not being supported. But then it was like it was a shadow put over the things that I had done that was supported. And now I've seen things since then that have been supported. And so we have no clue. We have no clue, because there are people who look at you and see you as blessed, who do believe in the vision. And although they may be few, God can do a lot with the few. And so we have to know that truly, 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 God has some great things in store for us, so that we have to use wisdom now, not to let what we are seeing now keep us from reaching that destiny, because we so discouraged or depressed because of what we're seeing now.
It makes me think about us as children. When you're a kid, you hear so much, and that we don't realize that stuff grows with you.
That's true.
So this didn't just happen at 14.
The low self-esteem. That's right. All of that. That's right.
Dwelled in you and grew with you all these years to make you think, I can't do this. I don't have the support. And it makes me think, one thing we do in my class every day, if my kids say they want to do something, I have a kid who said they're a doctor. So I say, Doctor such and such, come here. And, I don't know if you're really going to be a doctor, but I'm not going to tear down what you're feeling now. Yeah. If you want to be a doctor, I'm calling you doctor. And I'm telling you, I'm pushing you to be a doctor. Okay. But we don't do that. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, JaeTae, I like that. That is really good. It really does. And so much is implanted in us. And somebody was just saying this it was in a sermon I was watching, because we were fasting and praying this week, and I've just watched sermon after sermon after sermon. But it was basically that all those things were planted in us, and a lot of times we see what the person is doing now, but we don't stop to wonder why. What happened to you that is causing you to do this, or feel this way, or think this way? And the truth is, it's something to that. It is something to it. And that's why, we judge one another. Even I was thinking about a funeral I recently played for and had to serve at, and I was told that it was that this person was living this kind of lifestyle, and there were a lot of thugs and people with tattoos. I mean, and they were cussing in the service, and they was having to remind them that we in church and things, and but I'm thinking that was part of the environment that you were raised in. This is what you have known. And so who am I to judge who you are now? Because what I do know is that if you allow God to get a hold of you and you really say yes to him, it's no telling who you will be and who he can use you to be a witness to later on down the road. So again, who am I to judge?
I don't know. I don't know if it was last week or week before last. I was talking to J.L. Marco Polo, and I always have music playing in the class. And my co-teacher now, we was like, stop singing. We told them all to stop singing. And Jay instantly came back on the message
with the review.
Don't tell them babies to stop singing. And it didn't hit me then, but it was like after I left school, after I left work, came home, got dressed and went to school. I heard my teacher say that her mom told her when she was younger to stop reading because you had dyslexia. And now she's an English professor. And I was thinking, I told my kids to stop singing today, not knowing that I'm planting a seed and they're taking that stuff home. I can't say that everybody in their house is saved, but when songs are in your spirit, in your mind, you're
going to be singing them out. They singing them at home.
So the next and they were singing, and my coach was like, and I was like, no, let them sing. And I'm thinking, Lord, give me patience because I want to tell them to hush. But you never know.
Yeah.
You truly never know.
That song is being planted in their heart. That's true. Wow. You just got to make it, and that's what that brings back the balance, because I did understand what you were saying. You want them to stop singing because their singing is distracting them from doing their work. So you got to find a way. That's something to pray about. Thank God for the privilege of prayer that these things prompt us to pray.
Yeah.
We have another prayer prompt. Okay, God, what can we do to make sure that although they're singing and they're hearing the music, that they're still working and they're focused on their work? Yeah, and that's a hard one because, but they're not gonna get caught up like we could get caught up at the singing and God.
And sing, and then they'll start dancing with
okay, God, yeah, the fullness, yeah.
To see them pray, so that's what they do.
Oh, golly.
So instead of me going,
and so that is hard. That's hard to. That's a hard thing to balance. That's what calls for wisdom.
Playing the music.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't play the music when they're working, but teachers, we need it. Thank God I work in an environment where I can. So you have the opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, that's something. Maybe when they really, really have something they have to work on, that you just cut it off for a moment. But if it, the thing is, again, if it's in them, they may just bust out without the music on. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, kids, come on! That's what I'm talking about.
They are just singing their little hearts out, and I didn't turn into a little J-Bass director. God knows, okay. And I be telling them what part to come in on and all that. And when they finally got it, I recorded
All right, that's it. Shantae, you told me to come read to the church. I'm about to come by. Okay. So he said it's crazy for us to presume that we know more than the husbandman who cultivated us. The master took everything about us into account when he chose us.
It brings me to the song that y'all haven't heard yet. Oh, what a privilege.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, I'm so glad to be back in the studio. Okay, so we probably end at this next one on page 97, if that's okay with you. Because I'm going to get off track again, and we're over 45 minutes, so we'll be at about an hour. Okay, so page 96, the only thing I highlighted was I just wanted a normal life. Oh my gosh. And well, oh, I can't put it in yet. But the thought of Bishop T.D. Jakes saying, I just wanted a normal life. Think about what that normal life would have caused him to miss out on. Who the lives that have so been blessed and impact because he's been crushed over and over again. That he went through this crushing and allowed God to transform him and bring out of him what he knew was already in him. But he just wanted a normal life. Look at the things that we could settle for. We would settle for just being grapes. Again, the whole point of the book, when wine is in us.
Makes me think about when you abort a mission or even our lives, that we're aborting something that we can't see, but God knows. Bishop, I think it was Bishop, what's the sermon that Bishop preached we heard? It's been a while now about we only could see here, but God can see further over the mountain and all of that. Okay.
Why not just trust in God's vision for our lives? And it's so hard. I want to get this last piece out because I've got to get to this music on the, as far as crushing, because that's what I want to talk about as, my end of crushing. Well, I've talked about the spaghetti, but that wasn't the main thing. All right. But JaeTae was the conference. So we trying to get all this out as well. You will never have peace until you surrender. I didn't think there was anything else better for me. Grapes of mediocrity, the empowering impact crushing would have on my life. We just don't know. We don't know. And so he said he was content with the grapes of mediocrity. And I basically just said that we are content just being grapes, but God has so much more in store for us. And I think, one of the hardest things as I was considering this broadcast today was we have been exposed to more. So it is depressing when you have these astronomical dreams and visions that could be so amazing and have such great impact on so many lives. So many people could be blessed, and you know it. And it's a God-given vision or dream or goal, because you're not just thinking selfishly. You're not thinking, oh, I'm going to make money and be blessed from this. You're looking at the fact that multiple lives, multiple generations can be blessed and impacted by this. That's why I'm so enamored at watching what Bishop Jakes has been able to accomplish, period, with his church, but with T.D. Jakes Enterprises and Ministry, because look at the lives that have been changed. Look at the people he's able to employ. Not just the church employment, but with his personal ministry, the people that are employed, that the lives that are being changed and impacted because of the services that his church provides, that his ministry provides. And then I see how so much of that coincides with what God has given me to impact in my little bit of area. But it's in the thought of good soil. But the thing is, I'm looking at the fact, it's because he has the connection with these people. It is because that God has brought these people. And so you're seeing this, and then you're praying, okay, God, put me in position to meet my tribe and to be around people and to be able to network with the ones that I'm supposed to network with. I don't just want to network with just anybody, but who I'm supposed to be in tribe with or in connection with. God put me there. And it seems like things are not happening. But then you also look at something like the music, where I know this is God's music. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've gotten too many testimonials from people who have been blessed by the lyrics and the melody and all of that from a J Bass original. And so, and it's something how you can sing it in one atmosphere and people are totally unmoved. Maybe because of what we talked about, they know you or whatever, but then you take it somewhere else and it's a total transformation. You see people all out and going through and all of this. There's a difference.
Balance that. Do you believe this one or do you believe that?
For me, the thought is I just know how the music makes me feel. And, you know, if they receive it or not, I know that it's blessed me. And so somebody's going to be blessed. Even in that dry room, there's somebody that message is reaching. And so, you know, I'm looking at the thought of we're doing this fundraiser, and we're doing a fundraiser to try to raise money for the next volumes of the JaeTae songbook. And in my mind, I'm not like Bishop Jakes in this particular chapter who says he just wanted to live a normal life. I want to do greater. I'm not satisfied with the grapes of mediocrity. That is not my testimony. I do not. And so it's like, because I do want greater, I keep putting this greater, I keep putting that on things and believing God for greater, but it seems like I keep getting crushed in spite of instead of greater. I feel like I'm being pressed down and smothered instead of experiencing greater. And so it's like, okay, how do you go? But then I have to understand, okay, well, maybe the crushing is what's evolving me into something greater, that I want greater, but the way to greater does not look like the path that I thought I was supposed to take. And so when I think about the music, I'm hearing this great music. I'm hearing somebody like JaeTae say that, you know, there are songs, she knows that there are songs that I have written that others have been blessed by, but that have not been recorded or released just yet because of what is crushing me, the finances to pay. Now I've been blessed, finally, an answer prayer. So I know and that's what helps me to trust the process that it's going to come, that the finances are in the earth. But I finally meet the producer that I believe is supposed to be my co-producer, that we are to make this music together. There was a moment in the studio, I told him, if you hear something that could be added, do it. I trust you to do it. And I'm listening. If I don't like it, you know, we can work on it together. And so he started doing something and he didn't know where to go with it. But when he did it, I instantly heard the next part of it. And so I said, oh, I got it. And so he deleted what he did. I played what he did and added what I heard. And he was like, oh, man, yeah. And it's moments like that I have been praying for. And I'm just, you know, I keep telling them, I man, if you just going to have to get tired of me saying thank you and patting you on the back and being grateful for you allowing me to be here, because this is an answered prayer for me and I do not take it lightly. And so then to be crushed when you leave and you know that, okay, we finished what we're going to do for now with these, and now it's time to pay for the production of the next track. And it's the beginning of the month and rent is here. And we've been meeting at least 2 or 3 times a week for the past 2 or 3 weeks since we started on this. And it's like, I don't want the train to slow down. I don't want us to back up. I don't want us to get comfortable not coming and meeting. But God, I also am at the place where I'm going to pay for production, period, before we start the next song. And so, God, I'm at a crossroad. Rent is due next week. And so I have to exercise wisdom as it comes to my household. So I can't take from my finances and put it toward this. So I need you to make a way. Well, what I will say is, JaeTae, I think I got it. Do you not understand what I'm saying? Okay, well, I'm trying to calm down.
For it to be done?
I think I got it done.
I think you got it done.
Mm-hmm.
With your blessings on blessings.
With my blessings on blessings.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we had this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting here.
Just wait. That's what we were saying, that, and just trust. That was this week. Mm-hmm.
It was just Thursday when we were just sitting there talking about, you were leaving from the studio.
And
you said
you
was ready to go to the next song, but you couldn't.
Because of the finances.
Like, we gonna come through. Like, we just gotta, it didn't even take a long wait. And that's the crazy part.
I don't know if I have it all, but
it's just the part is that you even
the
got
fact I got some.
3 days ago.
Okay, so I'm just gonna just tell you. Okay,
Well,
so
you're
anyway, the funeral yesterday. That was unexpected. I want to say he had called me either Wednesday or Thursday to ask if I was available, but we didn't really finalize it, I think, till Thursday. So that was extra. That was unexpected money, so that I could just put that, I'm gonna get my child off of it, but I could still put that towards it. Okay, then there's also the funeral today. I've forgotten about this funeral today. So that was, in other words, to me, unexpected. You get what I'm saying? So that's 2 unexpected. Now those 2 by themselves do give me everything that I need. They give me everything that I need to put toward the next production. But I'm gonna have to. It's the only thing is I have one new bill. I can't even remember what it is that comes out like the beginning of the month too. So I do need to prep for that. And I was praying about how that was going to work out with rent and car note and something else that always comes out the first of the month that I'm always, but it's the fact that I still have most of it. You get what I'm saying? That, girl, I'm just, and that, y'all, I wanted to hash all that out here because a lot of times we don't see the inner turmoil that you're going through and how you're working through all of this that's going through your mind. I got to do this, I got to do that. But I also want to see this dream and this goal, this vision still being accomplished. And it's like the end of this is the thought of this is God's music. I'm coming back to it to end it. And it's on him for it to come to pass. But I'm looking at, I don't see it. I don't see it right here yet. I don't see how he's going to make a way. And that's the part of having that kind of Abraham faith, where I know that he's taking me somewhere, but I don't know where I'm even going. I don't even know the path there. I'm just moving as he tells me to move. That's the thing with writing this music. I'm writing as he tells me to write, but I don't see the path to getting it recorded. And you know what? It's another thing that I have to say to you, because one thing that has gotten me is I've been concerned about recording at home because of the sound I hear here at home. But when I took that music and he transferred it into his system and played it back, it sounds so totally different. Do you hear me? So it's like I really can just record at home and do what I'm used to doing and then turn it over to him to add the extra stuff on it and make it what it's supposed to be.
See that so that you know. But
Yeah. Did I go on and on to make you forget?
What I was thinking was, you say you can't see it.
Yeah.
What happens if God gives us a glimpse of our future?
And the path that you have to go through to get there.
Go there. Can he trust us to
still? Oh my gosh.
That's
but it's the truth. Yeah.
I want y'all to hear this now. This is the disclaimer. I'm not saying that this is what JaeTae would do. But I'm saying if JaeTae knew that next year at this time, he would be on a mega stage with a huge choir, a full band, and he would have all his dreams come true. Would JaeTae still fast, pray, go, do, and be to get there? Or would I skip this part and this, would I, zigzag a little bit? Oh, I don't want to do that because I know I'm going to get there anyway. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what God does. Like, he's like,
that's good.
I gotta take you here. I can't show you, but you gotta trust me because I formed you in your mother's womb, and you clearly have a glimpse of it because you have told me that people have prophesied over your life years ago.
Multiple.
So he has given you, something to hold on to.
They're my personal dreams.
So, personally think that God, even though we don't like depression, and all of that, the thing that comes with it, like he has to trust us to get there. We gotta go through this ugly stuff. You know what I'm saying? To get there. And he knows that if I can trust you to get there to do this, that when you get up there, you ain't gonna mishandle it.
That's right.
I know that you're gonna do this for my glory.
You're gonna be grateful.
You're not just gonna get this and stop.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, you're not gonna take a baton and say, it's mine. I don't have to share anymore because I've got to the point where I wanted to.
Wow.
But there's always, like you said, well, it's not on my side, but the greater, I could point, the greater, there's always more. Was that true? But I see it right here by Jay, but I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, pointing, okay.
But then your highlighter went out of focus. It is over there. Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
Thing, because we don't see it, we don't feel it, but we know it's going to happen. It just holding on that's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's because we're human. I always tell Jay, like, we're human. Like we're supposed to feel this way. We're Christians, yeah, but we're also human. And I think about when you said Bishop said he would just to live a normal life. We see Bishop, but what's Bishop's real name?
Thomas.
Okay. His family see Thomas. We see the pastor, but their family see
a brother.
Andrew. Because I see Andrew Shaw here saying greater right now.
All right, come on. Come on,
Apostle. We know him as apostle.
Yeah.
But they don't know. We have to go through these things to get to that point, to continue on, to pass the baton, to be, the next. There is, even though Jay doesn't have children, he said music is his baby, but there are some children being brought into this world that's going to go through some things, that's going to hear Jay's story, your story, our story. So we have to continue on because greater is going to continue. Greater is going to be here even when we're gone.
That's right.
That's going to be it's part of the process. That's right. Apostle. It's part of the process.
That's right.
It's part of life. This crushing is part of life. We were born here to be crushed for greater.
And I think the sooner we actually embrace it and grasp it, that we are able to then really be propelled. Some of the things, it's just like how quick that turnaround was from Thursday to today. To be able to have that testimony. We have no clue. I think about the lady who called me from out of state. Yeah.
Same.
Oh.
Thursday, Jay got that call. Jay was crushed Thursday, not saying that he didn't have the money for the next song. No, that was not Thursday. That was Wednesday because you didn't have Bible study.
Okay, yeah, and I went to the studio. That's right. That's right.
Store, and this is a lot of business, but he sacrificed.
A
lot.
Oh, a lot of.
A lot, y'all. Knowing what he wanted to do, even though he knew he possibly was going to get it back.
And she was mad at me.
There was a possibility that Jay, don't take me out, okay? There was a possibility that he probably couldn't have all got it back at one time, but he took that chance.
Yeah, because I believed in it.
You believed in it. And the same thing is with your music because you sacrificed and you did it anyway. You didn't go into I can't do, I got something I need to do. You got up Thursday and did that in spite of, went to school, came back and did it. And look how God blessed you the very next day.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Truly. If only we would just.
And bless the fundraiser.
And bless the fundraiser.
Yeah. Girl.
Fellas in this school.
Yeah. Okay. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Apostle, you got to come on and be our guest one day. Even if either the JaeTae show or the J Bass Today show, I need you to be a guest. You need to be a guest on both shows because you got plenty to talk about. Just your testimony of dealing with the church. I know there's plenty to talk about, and that God has elevated you in so many ways. So we look forward to you being our guest. Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of the JaeTae Show. God.
It's the JaeTae Show.
Oh, we do? Uh-oh.
Yes, Jay is hosting a fundraiser right now.
Oh.
50-50.
50-50. And it's growing. The pot is growing. Y'all better come on.
You stole.
Oh, JaeTae. That was part of two what asked to me being able to do the next song.
Huh? Oh. Oh, God.
The fundraising is the fun. That smile don't have nothing on this smile. Okay, the fundraiser is raising, okay? Okay.
You put in, he's not doing raffle, I don't know how he's doing it, but you put in buy a raffle ticket, quote unquote.
Your entries.
Entry. And then February 10th, right?
That's correct.
February 10th,
We're going live at 3 p.m. I'll pull at 3:15.
Whatever is in the pot, only Jay knows is in the pot. Whatever is in the pot, you get half, and he gets half for his ministry. So you could buy a $5 ticket and possibly walk away with whatever.
Hundreds of dollars.
Half is in the
depending
pot.
on what the pot is. Y'all, if y'all get the pot up to a couple of thousand, you might walk away with a couple of thousand. Y'all better watch it now because people have started putting into the fundraiser. I'm not going to share what's in the pot until 3 o'clock on February the 10th. And then for 10 minutes, I've got to remind me. Yeah, I'm drawing it out. Y'all want them there too. So we're gonna be live so that y'all can see that the pot is growing. And so I remind me in the J Bass Ministries meeting, I need to look up a counter that I can also have displayed so that it'll roll up the money as we add it on. And so y'all will know at 3 o'clock what that pot stands at, and that those of you who have put in entries, you will know that your name is on that wheel and that it could possibly be you, okay? At 3:15, once I hit that wheel to start spinning, which will be showing on the Zoom screen, and on I said I was going to do it on YouTube. I may still do it on YouTube to get them to come to my channel and subscribe. I may still do that because I was going to do it on Facebook, but yeah, I may do it on YouTube. And so that once that shows, you will be able to, at that moment, once the wheel stops, I'm going to send the Cash App if you Cash App me, or I'm going to send the Zelle if you Zelled me, period and point blank. So y'all got to be ready. You got to go on and send in your funds. That's all I can tell you.
So you got a little time. Today's the 27th. You have until February 10th. You have until the whole day, pretty much. You got, because you said 3 o'clock, so you got until 3:05, 3:10, 3:13, because he's gonna spin it at 3:00.
Oh no, you have until 3:10 because I need to start being able to do whatever I need. I need to be adding name to the wheel at 3:10, from 3:11 to 3:15, so that by 3:15 I can go. Don't risk it, please. Y'all better go on and come on in. Come on in the room.
Get them in now. You can Zelle them. 409-996-8791 or Cash App J Bass Ministries for your entry for the 50-50 raffle.
And I'm telling y'all now, as soon as that raffle ends, I'm dropping the flyer for the next raffle. Okay, the next 50-50. I'm keeping the 50-50 going until I get these. That's my plan. As long as y'all keep supporting and taking a chance, I'm going to keep doing the 50-50 raffle, fundraiser, so that I can get all these next volumes, because it's going to take thousands and thousands of dollars for me to get this done, but I know it can be done. Okay, so thank you all so much for your support in advance. Thank you for supporting the JaeTae Show. We are so blessed by you all, and I pray that you are being blessed by what you hear here.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next week, episode 14.
God bless.
It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show.